Welcome to this video. I'll be talking about how to create leadership spotlights. Now, these spotlights have been used on our social media to provide a spotlight on our leadership team, from drum majors to officers. Now, the things being used in the spotlight are name, grade, position, plans after high school, hobbies, favorites, or achievements. That makes it very interesting. And the last one, what does a Wildcat Regiment mean to you, and how has it impacted your life? For this leadership spotlight, I did use the 2020 officers. For example, Victoria Cruz, she's the flute captain. And to start off, I would like to start with a 2A. What I mean by this code is that's the color that you're going to be putting as your background color. It's a little bit gray, and again, everything I do is usually on the letter sizing 8.5 by 11. And then again, you just delete the text because you won't need that until later on, and change the layout to only have to add 2 pictures and 1 text. Again, I'm going to show you how you can change the color. Click the little code at the bottom, click edit, and change it to 2A. Again, 2A. That makes it the gray color that I usually use all the time. And again, I just added the pictures from my photo library. What I like to do is I like to zoom in and make the picture fit in and make it very noticeable to it's only that person in case there's other people in the background. By doing this, you provide a main focus on the person who you're doing the leadership spotlight. I always like to label my projects. For example, on this one I put leadership spotlight on the top, since it is a leadership spotlight and I want people to notice that our leadership team is very important to us. So what I like to do with the font is change the font to Economica and always put it in black and white no matter what, because those are the basic colors you can go with. Again, I remove the shape because that's a little bit of a distraction, and I keep the distance, I keep the drop shadow, the effect, and I always put the distance all the way forward so it creates more of a standout illusion. And again, I just place it on the very, very top and leave a little bit of space on the very, very top just to place it on there. I do like to change their name font into another font, which is True North, I believe so. And with this font, this actually makes it stand out and makes it pleasant to the eye, as well as I add several details to the name which makes it stand out. For example, I always change the color to black and white and provide a shape with a bracket around the name. Sometimes there might be quite a gap between the name and the bracket, which again, you can go to your spacing and again change the line, either move the line further or move the line closer. I always like to put it a little bit closer, not too close to a point that you cannot read the name, but yes. And then the shadow, I like to go full on direction where you can see the drop shadow pop out and makes the name pop out almost like it's 3D. Always like to center the name between the leadership spotlight. Again, if you don't have enough space, you could always just move the text box a little bit to the left, and it'll provide you more space to type anything that you want on there. Just like marching band, we have spacing. For example, just make sure the leadership spotlight isn't too close to the name to the point where everything's just overlapping and not visible or pleasant to the eye. I always like to make it a little bit pleasant to the eye, just in order to see everything clearly. The next thing I like to do is add their grade. For example, Victoria's a junior, which is 11th, and I add it on there. I type it out. Again, to add any text, you just click the little plus sign. It'll say add text, add photo, and you just click text. I remove the shape actually and change it to black and white. Again, I always like to go back with a different font for this. I like to go back to Economica. The reason I like to go back to Economica is because of contrast. This adds contrast to their name, to the heading. It ties in back to the heading, which is leadership spotlight, and then it involves contrast within the quote. Again, I ask for the grade, position, instrument, and they're all under Economica. And I like to add this shape underneath, which is a rectangle or a square, and just it basically highlights it, and then it adds contrast to everything else. And I like to put that little square or the highlight into a darker tone than the gray background, again for contrast reasons. So Victoria Cruz is a junior. She's going to be a junior. You always want to put the upcoming year. You never want to put the year they were when they auditioned or tried out. You always want to put a year ahead. So if they tried out as a sophomore, then the next year they would be a junior. That's how Victoria is. That's why I put 11th. And again, her instrument is flute. and her position is flute captain. Now the next thing I like to do is add their quote. This ties in together, and again I always ask them, what does the Wildcat Regiment mean to you and how has it impacted your life? Many students turn in a sentence or a couple of words, while others send in paragraphs. Now this isn't Victoria's quote, I just used this as an example. This is actually borrowed from our baritone officer Isaac Castañeda from the 2019-2020 season. Now again, I like to go back to black and white highlight. I always like to use the highlight to be black and the text to be white, that way it stands out. And this just adds contrast to everything. Again, I don't like to use the same font as Economica or True North. I like to go with a different font, which is Voltaire. This actually provides contrast and it makes the quote stand out, and it makes it look good. Disclaimer, you don't have to use the same exact things that I used. It's up to you. If you want to change it up, you can change it up. You can spice it up if you want. Again, this is just what I established at the time, and that's what I believed was that looked good on internet or anything else, but it's up to you to change it if you want. Again, I always like to tie in everything. I like to put the Wildcat Regiment logo or thing I have on every social media post that I do post online, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. I like to put the Wildcat Regiment. Now, this actually provides an idea of who the organization is about, because sometimes on social media I know I got DMs from other schools saying, oh, congrats Victoria, even though they're from Laredo or from other schools. Again, you could create your own logo, you could even add the symbol if you would like. It's just harder to put in whenever you have a small space. That's why I created this. Again, if I have a bigger space, I will add the logo to it, or symbol to it, and it makes it all tie in. So again, this saves to your camera roll. You will have access to it on your camera roll, and I suggest to upload it to Google Drive, because that way you have everything saved on one file and you don't have to be looking for it like crazy. Thanks for watching this video, and again, I'll be coming back with more videos, so stay tuned for what's coming up next.